respected the world, but it flew away from her reach. So she ran away in her sleep and dreamed of paradise, paradise, paradise. Every time she closed her eyes.
Be the change that I want to be and see in the world. So not saying, oh, we need to do this or somebody needs to do that, but actually going and doing that thing.
You're told you can be anything you want. I look back at all the bruises, bloody fists, and broken smiles and realize all I ever wanted to be was me.
Because this is going to be worth the money one of these days when you're a big rock star. I think it might be Amber and the Amberette.
Growing up, I would stare into my eyes in the mirrors for hours, picturing myself looking 1,000 different ways than the person staring back at me did. I was so quiet in school because if I didn't like myself, I figured no one else would either. It didn't help when I would go home and be verbally abused by my stepfather. Every word was like a hit to the stomach, and I could feel the knot in my throat tighten harder and harder. My voice died and took shelter deep within myself. I would put on a fake smile for my very few friends, trying to convince myself and everyone else I was happy and normal. When I was 8, I remember thinking to myself how I was going to tell my family that they're wrong, that I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. This thought almost immediately evaporated. I had never been exposed or heard of anything so outlandish. I buried it deep within myself. It breaks my heart when people say being lesbian or gay or bisexual or transgender is a choice. I didn't choose to be discriminated against or seen as an outcast. I didn't choose to go through self-hate or confusion. I just wanted to be like every other kid.
Or some kids sometimes, don't even feel comfortable or safe at home. And so they come here and this is their safe place.
A foster parent to the students. When students come to school, we're here to care for them. It's very important for teachers and students to have relationships that they feel where they feel like they are there for one another, that it's not just a one-way street, that both the teacher and the student are working together towards something, like their parents would if they were here to be with them. I feel my role as a teacher is not just to teach them the content, but to be there for them as people. In all honesty, my content comes second. They are human beings who have problems and issues, and I like teaching students and knowing who they are and caring for who they are and getting to know them as people. I especially like teaching at high school because they're older, they have their own experiences, they have their own hobbies and things, they play sports. I find it very beneficial to form relationships with students where I can go and watch them play their game, and then when I see them in the halls or I have them in class, I can, we can talk about it, and then that student sees me in a different light. I'm not just their teacher anymore. I am somebody who cares for them. I do take the time out of my own life to go and be with them, watch them play, root them on, cheer for them, listen to their problems. The more a parent is involved in their child's education, the more that the child can get from the education. Being a teacher and not a parent, I see it as a partnership. While their child is at our school, we are their foster parent, so we should be working hand in hand together, trying to raise their child to be the best person in our society that they can be. Fortunately, I think some of our parents don't feel welcomed.
I think it's not that they don't feel welcome, I think that they're afraid because they probably have dealt with teachers who just turn around and don't even try to help them, or just don't want them in their classroom. So when they come here and they see that we want them here, they are more willing to come and help out. We're always being observed, so we don't know if we just tell a parent come into the classroom but we don't try to talk to them and let them know what's going on in the classroom, then of course the parent's going to criticize because they don't know what's going on. And if they see that the class is very active when they believe it shouldn't, then the parent is not going to think of something positive but something negative to say.
You know, cultural issues, and is education valued to some extent versus other things? Sometimes, you know, with the girls, some parents figure, you know, girls only need a certain amount of education and then they're going to get married and have children. And the idea of going off to college or something, or going to, you know, something like that, a lot of families get nervous about that.
Because not all of our kids have parents who are going to support them.
Right.
What do you do if, you know, there's only, you know, like it's a single parent family, say just the mom's there, and she works from 6 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning. How can she be home to make sure that the kids are doing their homework? I mean, that's really hard.
So being very flexible, having late meetings, having different meetings, being available to them when they are available instead of making them try to fit into our schedule, which, like, once the parents become involved, it either tells us, you know, that we need to be a better support for the student, right? Or the parent joins us in the support for the student. Working here in South Los Angeles, a lot of our parents work. Being able to come to the meetings that we call is not something that they just trying to be more in tune with the students and talking with them and understanding their problems instead of issuing a discipline for a behavior that is unwanted. Asking the student, why did you do that? What's wrong? You know, is there something that I can help you with? And I've really seen, I haven't received any data or anything because we're still in the first year of implementation, but I have seen the experiences that I've had with students, and we've shared conversations where they've told me that they do feel like I am here for them and that they can talk to me. And it doesn't just happen in the 60 minutes that they're in the classroom, and it doesn't just happen in between their four walls in their classroom. It probably happens more often outside of that room and not in that hour that you are teaching them the content.